Hi, everyone. My name is Trudean Haye, and I'm the Executive Director of the Byrd Cancer Education and Advocacy Foundation. And here with me today are my partners, Dr.
Nia Imani Bailey, and I'm the president of Byrd Cancer Education and Advocacy Foundation.
and
Shannon Stones. I'm the Community Outreach Director of Byrd Cancer Education and Advocacy Foundation.
I know it's a mouthful, so here on out, we'll use Byrd Cancer Foundation for short. And today we are talking about the Voices of Black Women study with the American Cancer Society. So let's get into it, ladies. Why are we here today?
Because Black women are dying. Our sisters are dying. We've had so many family members, so many friends who passed away of breast cancer at the age of what? 30?
30, under 40, before they're 30, you know. And when we saw this study originally, we were like, we wanted to be a part of it, not just as participant, but to also educate our community and help other Black women signed up because, you know, we thought it was important. So do you want to share some of the reason why we think it's important?
So it's definitely important for this study because, like you all said, there have been past stigmas about doing studies with Black women and Black people overall. So I believe that this is our time to show, like, hey, how much technology and everything has developed. Hey, all you all have to really do is just take a survey and we can move forward in helping us as Black people develop treatments for our diseases and other health concerns that we may be struggling with.
Because as a radiation therapist by trade, we know that a lot of Black people in general doesn't show up in a research study. Why do you think that is?
They're scared. I mean, what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago when the descendants of Henrietta Lacks just settled with a pharmaceutical company because they used her DNA without her consent. So we still, as a community, learn about medical apartheid, injustices, Tuskegee experiment, right? So we are afraid. We feel like when we do something, it does not benefit us, and we're tired of dying and we're tired of being left behind, but we are here to take the stigma out of that. Now, we still pay homage. We know that happened, right?
Yes, right.
But we know that if we don't enroll in clinical trials or research studies, however you want to frame it, then we will always be left behind. They're still going to make medicines,
Right.
but the medicines are going to be without our DNA, without our genetic makeup. So we'll just always be left behind.
Yeah. I think also because we've been doing this study with, you know, within the community for a while. And one of the biggest concern a lot of people are saying is the medical mistrust, is why should I be a part of it? They don't even listen to me, you know? And right now for us, we're just trying to, how can we bridge the gap? Because in even with our organization, that's what we're here for, is to bridge that gap. Yeah. So how can we bridge that gap, you know? So
along with us conducting this study and signing people up for months, I've also noticed as well the injustice within the medical field. People don't have the same resources as well. So hopefully with this study, people will gain more knowledge as to how they can receive better medical health.
Right.
And make it more feasible for them as well.
That's so true. I mean, like Trudy said, Byrds, we are the connectors. So we connect everyone with the resources and tools to reduce their risk, to get treatment and survivorship. So when American Cancer Society came to us and said, do it, we were like, okay, first, we go and sign up first, because we're not just going to tell our people, our community, to do something that we're not going to do. So we first took the beginning survey, and that took how long?
15 minutes. To enroll took about 15 minutes.
Yes.
And then the actual survey is an hour. Nia,
knocked it out.
She knocked it out within the full hour. It took me a while.
Me as well. Pace yourself.
Because, and I think one of the big factor with this survey is, we're all different women, different walks in life. Yeah. I'm a mom of two and a married woman, plus an entrepreneur. You have a full-time job. you're also have a full-time job, plus you're a mom. So of course we have to take into consideration, why aren't people enrolling into this study? Are we actually meeting people where they're at? Are we being a little bit too impatient because we're telling people enroll? Most people are probably tired. We probably enroll, but then they forgot to go back because we got life. Life is happening. You wake up, you take care of the kids, you go to work, you come home, you make dinner, you go through all of those things. And before you know it, it's time to go to bed. And then you wake up and repeat. And then out of sight, out of mind, nobody's thinking about the study.
Right.
Right.
That's so true. But one of I think the cool things about the study was it asked for our zip code. Did we have, are we near grocery stores? What's our medical history? What's our cancer history? Are we stressed? Do we exercise? Like all of the things to see in the 30-year study if they can pinpoint what it is, if it is something that contributes to the diagnosis of cancer.
And I think a lot of times, I think people are scared to enroll into the study because they hear cancer and that's all they're thinking about. But it's not just about cancer. No. It's just about your health in general. So think about all the things that's tied to you that this study can help, if something should change in your life, this study could help pinpoint what happened in your life, what causes those changes, so.
That's so true.
And it will be beneficial to also your offspring as well.
Right.
So it's not just, okay, you do the study, it ends here. We're talking about future generations as well.
Right.
Right.
And I think one of the way I break it down to most people I come in contact with when they express their fear is think of it as a roadmap, and I always share this, I'm adopted, I am an immigrant. There's a lot of things I don't know about my health history in general. So I have to create that roadmap because now I have kids. And if my kids have kids, they can go back to this roadmap to say, okay, this is what, my mom did. This is my mom's health history, all of those things so that we can pinpoint if, God forbid, something should happen to them or, descendants and all of that stuff. They have that roadmap that can help guide them, to whatever they need.
I love that. That's empowering too. I mean, we know so many other things about our family. Like I know my mom's favorite color, my dad's favorite basketball team, but to know about their medical history is so empowering so that if something ever happened or did not, you just have that. I think about we're all 90s babies, right? So I'm 32, and it's like I think about going back to that old school photo book.
The
photo album, right? And you flip through the years, get that same thing of the medical history.
Yes,
just flip through. You don't always have to look at it, but like Trudy said, it's a roadmap and you have it.
Have.
Yep.
Very good to have.
And I think, our generation, we're more open to having more conversation when it comes to like our health history, but the generation before us, everything is like a secret. And I think, we're also there's a barrier there sometimes because while we want to bring awareness to the study, we want to talk about our health history, people have grown up with, well, we don't talk about that. Let's not talk about that. But what if we knew that our grandmother had high blood pressure or great grandmother, had XYZ, then how could that have affected, me? How, in how I eat, how I exercise, how I take care of, myself in general.
Yeah.
So if we have knowledge on it prior to, we can address that situation ahead of time. And that can also lead to a healthier lifestyle if we have the information ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because it runs in your family doesn't mean
have to run in your family.
It has to run.
Yeah,
No,
it doesn't mean it
we
has
can
to
break
still run.
the cycle.
Yes.
Break the cycle.
So
I love this.
Yeah.
We're truly our sister's keeper. Like we're not just going to tell you to do something that we're not going to do that we don't believe in. Like we don't play that. What?
No.
So we need to make sure that it's bigger than us and we know that.
And it might sound cliche, but health is wealth.
It's true.
Yes, it is.
Nia had shared something recently. I forgot the exact phrasing, but she said, so we can get from illness to wellness.
Period.
Something along that line. Because so many times people grow up sick, and it's
Yes.
just like, why are you always sick? And we can never pinpoint it. Oh, because, my mom was like this too, but did you get to the root of it? Because if we can get to the root of it, then maybe we can find the cause, and then it doesn't
Yes.
have to be that way, And I think a lot of times people are just set in their ways because it's comfortable, but comfortable doesn't necessarily mean wellness,
Yes.
And we have to break that cycle. Like, you got to get uncomfortable sometime to make changes, even if those changes, isn't what you think, might be working right now, but change is necessary.
That's a word. That is a word.
It is necessary. We're all adapted creatures.
Yeah.
I mean, change is necessary, though.
Yes.
I mean, if we should get into Darwin's theory.
Ooh, theory, yes.
Come on, this is a teacher right here.
Evolution,
Theory of evolution.
you know.
And over time, things will change. However, like Trudy emphasized, if we find the root and cause of it, that way we will be able to track it and also change our treatment methods as well, as long as we have the knowledge from our people so that we can treat our people.
Yeah. So what is the Voices of Black Women?
So, if you are a woman, a Black woman, and that could be, like she said, she's a Jamaican Black woman. I am Ethiopian Cherokee, period. Come on, Cherokee over there, too. We put it on Black. If you are a Black woman between the ages of 25 to 55, please enroll. And just think about it. Like, at the end of the day, do the research, educate yourself, and see if this is something that you want to do and you're comfortable with. But the idea is that they're looking at Black women over a 30-year period to see what it may be to get to the disease of cancer. Yeah. So you go on, what's the website, y'all?
It's voices.cancer.org. You go in there and you fill out the enrollment process, which is really simple. They ask you, a few questions. Do you identify as a woman? Are you Black? Where were you born? What's your birthday? Have you ever been diagnosed with cancer? Once you complete the screening process and you're eligible to enroll, you then enroll, which takes about 15 minutes. And you can add our referral code.
Please don't forget the code 2102.
When they ask you, how did you learn about this study, the Byrd Cancer Education and Advocacy Foundation, because this is so important to us. And honestly, when we first signed up to be a part of this study, we thought this was going to be a walk in the park. We thought it was going to be so easy because we know so many Black women. This was supposed to be a piece of cake, but then we realized that we might have known a lot of Black women, but a lot of people in our community are not educated about health and wellness in general. Right. A lot of people in our community don't even have a primary care doctor. A lot of people don't go to see a doctor. And I think that's where some of the fear comes in as well. I think people are scared of being judged, that, well, I don't have insurance. I don't have this. If they're asking these questions, I don't do that. So they might feel like, are they going to judge me? Or they may even feel a sense of, well, if I do get sick, is it my fault? When it's the actual opposite.
Yes.
That's the whole point of doing this study. That's the whole point of bringing it to the community, raising awareness. It's so that even if you are not doing those things, it's not too late to start.
Right.
We got to start somewhere. And that's the point. As long as you start, then we can continue to, raise awareness and,
continue awareness, because in our culture, in our community, we have a bad habit of what we don't know won't hurt us.
Right.
But in this case, as we can see, after years and years, it is hurting our community. Yeah. So it's time for us to speak up. And now this is our time.
Especially when Black women are the highest in every medical category there is, whether it's cancer, whether it's maternal health, all
Heart
of it,
attacks.
we're just higher. Why is that? So sometimes, I just want people to just even if they're hesitant, just sit and ask yourself, are you a Black woman? You came from a Black woman. You have a daughter, you have niece, you have friends.
Yes.
What can you do for them that could be beneficial over a lifetime? That's what the voices of Black women is,
Yeah.
using your voice, even if, you're not good at something, you're still a part of it because we're in it together. Nobody's in it alone, So we're here as the Byrd Cancer Foundation to hold your hand to say, you're not alone. Yeah. It's okay to feel scared, but, we can walk you through the process. Whatever you're feeling, just know that somebody else is feeling it too. And by sharing, why you feel that way, maybe we can then open up the door, not just within our community, but the medical community to say, this is why a lot of people aren't enrolling, because these are the things, they're expressing.
That's good. Yeah, on the heels of ending Black History Month and then coming into Women's History Month, we know that we are powerful as Black people, as women, and we're going to make sure that our voices aren't silenced.
Yes.
So if you are a woman, if you are a Black woman, if you do not have a cancer diagnosis, if you are between the ages of 25 and 55, go on what website?
voices.cancer.org, and you can enroll. And
the code, once again, 2102. Please be sure to enter our code.
Yeah, and that's it, you guys. That's it. You guys want to share anything else?
Just want to say we're our sister's keeper, and I always just want to ground ourselves in that we do it for future generations. We do it for this generation, but we do it for the generations that have come before us. And I'll just say some names, just some Rashina, some Tolu, some Jacqueline. Any other names you want to say that we do it for?
Jade, Naima, Happy Couture,
I'll go with Patricia, Janine, Eleanor, just some family names.
Yeah.
Put into there.
And my daughter Eris.
Yeah, and my niece is Quinn and Jade. And even your baby, because,
Yes, of course, my child as well.
Yeah. So, thank you.
That's it. That's all we have to say.
Thank you. Peace.
Yay.